Okay, Shannon, put us on the record, please. This is a matter of Clark versus Clark. Counsel, could you each state your appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matt Raines, P55246, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff Charles Clark Jr.
Anthony Donahoe, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Cynthia Clark.
And Mr. Charles Clark is present. Is Cynthia Clark present?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And I don't know, there's somebody else on a Galaxy tablet that's trying to get in, but probably not
I'm
on
on
your
a
case.
Galaxy. I'm on a Galaxy
Oh.
tablet.
All right, well, we won't worry about that one. We'll just go with this phone connection since it seems to be working.
Okay.
Okay, I have a proposed consent judgment of separate maintenance. Can I assume this matter's been resolved, gentlemen?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
Boy, do you do pro cons for separate maintenance? I've not crossed this bridge before.
You know, I believe, Judge, that we still do need to put some jurisdictional proofs regarding residency, at least on the record. And I think I'd spoken with counsel before we were on the record today, and I thought since we don't have a signed judgment at this point, I would at least put the basics of our proposed judgment of separate maintenance on the record as well.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Mr. Clark, would you raise your right hand, please? You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, Mr. Raines.
Thank you, sir. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Charles Spurgeon Clark Jr.
And Mr. Clark, you had originally retained, I believe it was attorney Mark Hashley, for purposes of filing a complaint for separate maintenance in this case. Is that correct?
Correct.
At the time that you filed your complaint for separate maintenance back on June 21st of 2019, you indicated that you had been a resident of the state of Michigan for 180 days and of the county of Jackson for 10 days before you filed. Was that true?
That's correct.
Mr. Clark, there was one that you were married to Cynthia on May 27 of 2006. Am I correct?
Correct.
One child was born to you and Cynthia actually it was prior to the marriage, but one child was born to the two of you, and that's Ethan Charles Clark, and his date of birth is January 16 of 2003. Is that right?
That is correct.
He will be turning then 18 years of age on January 16th, 2021. Is that right?
That's correct.
You have requested that a complaint for separate maintenance in this case be granted by this court. Am I correct?
Correct.
Mr. Clark, you've heard the statements that I've made, that it is my understanding that there has been a consent agreement that's been reached, and we have prepared a 7-page proposed consent judgment of separate maintenance, which also has an 8th page, which is an Exhibit A or a personal property division sheet. Have you seen all those documents?
Yes.
Did you understand all of the terms and the conditions in this proposed judgment?
Yes.
Briefly, sir, I want to review that with you. I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but as it relates to Ethan, you and Cynthia will have joint legal and joint physical custody. Domicile of that child will remain in Michigan, and parenting time will be at all times mutually agreeable between the two of you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
With child support, there will be no child support paid to either party, and that's pursuant to your agreement. And the two of you have already opted out of the friend of the court, and you're requesting that this court continue your agreement to opt out of the friend of the court. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Although the child will become 18 in a few months, you do understand you as well as Cynthia have the right to opt back into the friend of the court if you so desire, correct?
That is correct.
Two of you will you will maintain a policy of health insurance as well as dental insurance for the child, and the two of you will be equally responsible for co-pays, deductibles, as well as uninsured medical, dental, and optical expenses for the child. Is that correct?
That is correct.
As it relates to the tax exemption, while you will continue to file your taxes married but separate, it will be Cynthia who will be entitled to claim Ethan as a tax credit or exemption for 2020. You'll be entitled to the claim in 2021. Am I right?
That is correct.
Charles, there is real property located in Brooklyn that will be awarded to you, free and clear of any claim of Cynthia, and you'll be entitled to the equity in that property. The two of you do remain living together, and Cynthia will have the right to remain in that property until May 1st, 2021 at 12 noon, at which time she will be vacating the home and taking all of her items of personal property. Is that correct?
That is correct.
She will not be responsible for payment of any type of rent or utilities until January 1, 2021, at which time she will begin paying you $500 a month on the first of the month. Is that correct?
That is correct. One thing is the splitting of the insurance. Is that in addition to the 500 or no?
My understanding is that she would be paying you $500 each month, and that would be all. You would be responsible for the payment of all other.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll take
So-
care of that.
Okay, I mean, as I believe the way we've prepared the judgment, and my understanding was you'll be responsible for all indebtedness, mortgage, property taxes, utilities, anything regarding the property from now on. However, as of January 1st, you'll be receiving $500 a month commencing January 1st from Cynthia, as long as she remains in the property in no event beyond May 1st, 2021. Agreed?
Yes, yes, agreed.
All right, thank you. Personal property, Charles, you will have the 2004 Ford F-350, the 2013 Harley Davidson that has a lien on it, as well as a separate 2013 Harley Davidson Softail, and the 2006 Kawasaki four-wheeler, as well as the John Deere backhoe. Free and clear of any claim from Cynthia, you'll be responsible for all in debt on those items. Am I correct?
Correct. There is no lien on that. I'm not sure if that even matters.
Okay. Have I set forth those items correctly, though?
Yes,
All right. And Cynthia will be receive as her separate property the 2002 Ford F-150, the Ford Mustang, and the yellow Honda four-wheeler vehicles as her property, free and clear of any claim from you, correct?
correct.
There is additional property that's in an Exhibit A that you have seen. You will, Cynthia will be awarded those additional items, and you will be awarded those additional items that are identified for you in that Exhibit A that will be attached. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Each of you will be responsible for all indebtedness on the items that you receive. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
There will be no spousal support that will be paid to either party, and an award of spousal support will be forever barred to both parties. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Each of you will keep any investment bank accounts that are in your own names, and the two of you do not have any joint accounts. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Specifically, you'll be responsible for a CP federal loan in the amount of $7,300. Is that correct?
That was correct. I don't know how much is there now.
All right. At one point, it was $7,300. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
All right. Now, a little different as it relates to the retirement or pension accounts and pension accounts section. Cynthia is going to be awarded 100% of your 401k account that is in your name that had a value as of October 3 of about $34,000. Is that right?
Correct.
She'll be entitled to any gains or losses that are on that account, and she'll be responsible for taxes at the time of distribution. Is that right?
Can you repeat that to me again, please? Because I'm still making payments on the outstanding loan. So whatever is not outstanding at this point, she's entitled to, correct?
Yes.
And then whatever I have to put into to pay that loan off, then that will be my responsibility, and it won't be added on to her, the amount that she is, the 401k is at this date, correct?
That's correct. You're responsible for the loan. She will be receiving a distribution of that which is in the 401k account at this time, or even at the time of distribution. That will be the entirety of what she would receive, and she will be paying the taxes on it. That is my understanding.
Correct. I just want to know if it was as of today. So
That-
I'm not continuously paying on a loan. And
Right. That will be as of the time that the court signs this order, which we will be getting. We'll be getting to the judge forthwith. We need signatures from the parties, but once the judge signs it, that will be the date.
yes, sir.
Okay. Now there are other retirement accounts. You do have, I believe, another defined contribution plan. No, excuse me. You have a defined benefit plan or a pension with the state of Michigan, and it is Cynthia who has a defined contribution or a 401k plan. Each of you will be keeping those other retirement accounts as your own separate property, correct?
That is correct.
As it relates to health insurance, you currently provide health insurance for Cynthia, and you will continue to do that. However, she will be contributing 1/2 of whatever your monthly premium payment is. Right now, you are presently paying $170 every 2 weeks. So she would be required to pay 1/2 of that amount to you in order to continue to receive health insurance. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, any uninsured costs that each of you may have, health insurance costs that each of you have, that will be your own respective responsibility, correct?
Correct.
Life insurance each of you will be terminated as a beneficiary on the life insurance policy of the other party, correct?
That is correct.
Each of you will be responsible for payment of your own attorney fees as well, correct?
Correct.
One other matter, there is I have drafted a proposed qualified domestic relations order that consists of 4 pages without the attachment page, which is not to be submitted to the court, that contains some specific biographical information. You've seen those 4 pages on that quadro, am I correct?
Correct.
And you're happy with the court entering that as soon as feasible as well, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that would provide for, consistent with what I was indicating earlier, a 100% distribution from your 401k account to Cynthia, right?
Correct.
You do understand today, Charles, was the time scheduled for a trial in the separate maintenance case, and there could have been a more favorable resolution for you in terms of property. It could have been worse for you, or about the same. You understand all that?
Yes.
And understanding that you're content with the proposed settlement that I've set forth on the record and requesting that the judge sign that. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
All
correct.
right. Thank you, Charles. I have nothing further.
Thank you.
Mr. Donahoe, do you wish to question your client?
Yes, I do. Just a couple of brief questions. Cynthia, did you get a chance to read over the proposed consent judgment of separate maintenance and the quadro?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and are you satisfied with the provisions that are laid out in those documents?
Yeah.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. and Mrs. Clark, I'm assuming your attorneys have both explained to you that upon my signing of this consent judgment, even though all of the issues relative to your separating are addressed, you will remain married to each other. You understand that?
correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have to ask you, Mr. Clark, were you named for a famous preacher?
Yes, I was, sir.
I figured that it had to be the case. Very well. I'm satisfied with the proofs that this is a fair and equitable resolution of the issues involved. And as soon as I get signed consents from both parties, I will enter a judgment and the quadro and make sure those get returned to council.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.